Good morning, everybody, and what a beautiful morning it is here in East Texas. So, somehow it's the end of April already. I don't know how that happened, but here we are, end of April. Thought I would give y'all a short garden tour today, let you see what's growing on in my garden in the month of April, and some of my successes and some of my failures, and a lot of my learnings. So we'll head out into the garden and take a look around. Wait a minute, wait. I want to show y'all this. Almost forgot. Look how good all of our flowers are growing. So pretty. Most of these flowers we bought at the Harrison County Master Gardener plant sale. A lot of these are ones that I have sown from seed, so waiting on those to come up and flower. But wow, these really turned out well. Huge props go out to the Harrison County Master Gardeners and their plant sale. Also, look at my hibiscus. They are really blooming, and oddly enough, this year we have them in sync. Typically we one of these blooms and one of them doesn't. They never seem to sync up, but right now they are definitely synced up. So really cool. Did want to show y'all those flowers, but let's go take a look at what we have going on in the garden. All right, so out here our tomatoes are absolutely going crazy. I'm having a hard time keeping up with them. I will show y'all what they look like. So it's turning into a tomato jungle. I'm even having a little bit of a problem with my string trellis. I'll show you that in just a second. But my plan was to try to double stem or double leader a lot of these indeterminate tomatoes. And I don't know that I'm going to be able to pull that off. At least not with as many as I'm trying right now. Probably going to have to prune those back and try to tame the wildness that we have going on here. I do have lots and lots of tomatoes. Let's walk around on this side over here. Oh, that is an overwintered pepper plant. Got a couple of those that made it through. There's another one. Here's one. This one's already putting on peppers, so that's really cool. I did cut my broccolis out, except for this one. Got a little broccoli right there. So pretty cool on that end. I replaced those broccolis with some okra. Now these okras right here I bought at a local school FFA plant sale. Obviously buying from these school and master gardener plant sales, all the funds go to a great cause, and so that's why. So you can see here that is a Cherokee purple. Somehow I noticed the other day that I missed the Cherokee carbons. I don't know how I didn't get those started, but I do have several Cherokee purples, so excited about that. They all have tomatoes on them. So that's what I've got going with tomatoes there. Down here are my grow bags. This one is volunteer kale and Swiss chard, and it's doing really good. I've been eating off of that for a couple weeks now. Some onions. This is some garlic going. It looks really, really good. Some onions here looking good. Some more onions. These are a couple elephant garlic. Not all of them came up, but the ones that did, yeah, not looking so good. So we'll see what happens there when the time comes. And then of course my potatoes, I believe, are looking wonderful. We'll see how that goes as time goes on. I am starting to get a few flowers on these potatoes, so pretty neat. But that's what I've got going with my containers. Hopefully, we'll show you in a second. I've got some sweet potato slips that I have finally gotten to come up, so hopefully I'll get those in one of these containers in the next few days, hopefully this weekend. So we'll journey around over here, take a look at a few other things. My blueberries are looking pretty good. These two right here for whatever reason, the cold spell that we got late February really affected them. However, these two over here, not so much. They have lots and lots of blueberries on them. Very excited about that. I do have to figure out how I'm going to protect these from the birds when the time comes. Do have some flowers coming up right here as well. Now these are seeds that I sowed back, I don't know, a couple months ago, but they're coming up finally and starting to produce flowers. Really pretty. Got some more over here I will show you in just a second. So now you may notice I am bracing my string trellis. Yeah, so that's one of my, I don't know that it would be a failure, but definitely a learning curve. So because these tomatoes are growing really quickly, they're just weighing down my string. So what it's doing is causing the 4x4s to lean in. This was feared. I don't know that I really truly thought that it would happen. Those 4x4s in the center are buried about 9 or 10 inches into the ground, and they have a 24-inch spike with a 5-inch sleeve that they're sitting in 10 inches in the ground. So I would have expected them not to lean, but these tomatoes are very vigorous and they're causing it to lean. So I have a plan on how to fix that problem coming up, but I did want to show y'all what was going on there. Again, I'm not calling it a fail. I don't think we fail. We just learn from our mistakes. So here I got some Sweet Alyssum. It's all really starting to bloom. We had a little bit of rain this week, finally. Actually, we had some really good rain this week. Slow and steady, it was nice. And I think it's really helping a lot of these flowers. Got a couple of these. I think these were called Teddy Bear. I'll show you some of those that are actually blooming over in the Greenstalk in just a few minutes. My peppers are really looking good. This is a habanada. I'm excited about this one. I really questioned whether they were going to make it, but this one did. Actually, the little bitty one back there I wrote it off for dead, and it is coming on now. As you can see, I have a row of peppers in here. Let's see, one of these is putting on, this one right here. This one is putting on lots of peppers already, so excited about that. Let's see, those are shishito peppers. So I'm excited about the shishito peppers. This little guy right here, I actually dropped a garden stake on him and broke him in half, and he has done this ever since. So I guess essentially I topped him on accident. So, but he's growing, he's doing good, and now he's got lots of blooms on him. So excited to see if he makes it. That will be interesting to see. And then more peppers here. This is a eggplant. Don't remember which one this is. The eggplants that I'm growing, I took the suggestion of Chad with Down Home Backyard Gardening, and I'm growing Satsuma and Casper eggplants. Interested to see if I even like eggplant, but I'll find out. You don't know if you don't try, right? So this is some dwarf tomatoes, y'all. This is my favorite. Turned out last year to be my favorite tomato. This is a Loxton Last from the Dwarf Tomato Project. Let's see, there they are. Got lots of tomatoes coming on this sweet lady here. This is a yellow tomato and so delicious. I cannot wait to start getting harvest off of the Loxton Last. Super excited about that, but all of these are dwarf tomatoes. They will be not getting a whole lot taller than this. They are loaded with flowers, some of them already putting on tomatoes. Some more peppers back here. This is, what is this one called? This is called Giant, let's see if it says, if I can read. Yeah, Giant Caesar. So this is one that I'm told will take our Texas heat and not go to seed too quickly. Dragon tongue, beans. These are just some green beans, some edamame right here. So I got a couple edamame plants there starting to flower, so looking forward to that. Those are a couple more habanadas. And again, I wrote both of them off for dead, and here we go. They're starting to grow finally. And then I've got some more green beans and some flowers over here on the end. But all of these peppers are doing really well. Getting lots of peppers coming up already. In fact, I may even be harvesting some of these shishitos this weekend. So this is a good example of what's happening with my center pole with all that weight on that pole. You can see clearly it leaning in with all of the weight coming from those tomatoes. So like I said, I do have a plan to fix this. I'm going to leave those center posts where they are because I'm going to use them for my shade cloth. But I think what my plan is I'm going to come in with another post right here, and I'm going to butt it up against my raised bed. Use the raised bed actually for some support to keep them from leaning in. And I'm going to go with 2 rather than 1 to help distribute the weight. Back here you can see all of these are dwarf tomatoes and how they're doing. Down here you kind of get a better look at just how wild my tomatoes have gotten. Definitely got to do some more pruning, y'all. I feel like I'm pruning every other day on these guys, and they're just growing like crazy. It's hard to keep up, but I'm excited about it. I do have to get some of these. The rain this week definitely pointed out a few of them that I had not staked off or trellised when they leaned over when they got wet from the rain. So definitely we'll be working on that. All right, moving over here, I will show my raspberries. So this is why I didn't want to put raspberries in a raised bed or in the ground. This is my original plant. I planted in the fall of last year, late summer, early fall of last year. All of these are ones that are coming up from the roots. And I had heard that raspberries were very aggressive, even though this is what they call a raspberry shortcake. It is a container raspberry. You can see that it's spreading all over, even right here. Here's another one coming up right there. Oops, there we go. Now you can see them. So raspberries are definitely looking better and spreading. Some garlic here. All of these in this bed are dwarf tomatoes. I think I've brought it up before. I am slightly addicted to the dwarf tomatoes. Was really blown away by their flavor last year and their small compact size. You can really squeeze them into tight spaces. If you're a container gardener, you cannot beat these dwarf tomatoes for their production and the ease in their care by just using a stake to stake them up. This is some butter crunch lettuce. Delicious, y'all. I've been eating on that for a couple of weeks. Really, really enjoy the butter crunch lettuce. Then I've got some flowers in my little planter boxes that I built. They're really coming up. They're not flowering yet, but they are coming up really, really well. Ooh, this one right here. This is another one that I'm gonna have to brace. Really becomes obvious when you get some rain that they are not staked up because they get heavy with all of the water on them. So there's one I'll be working on this weekend for sure. All right, the blackberries are really doing well now. All of those are the Propagations coming up. One question I do have for anybody that is familiar with blackberries, when do they flower? I'm seeing videos of people with blackberries already, and I have no flowers even. So interested. These are Primark Freedom blackberries, so they're supposed to produce on the Propagations. So I would have expected to see some flowers on them already, but still nothing. We'll see. They're growing really well though. I'm not mad about that. I'm just hoping to see some flowers happen soon. Again, I got more raspberries in the whiskey barrels. Over here, I've got a lot going on in this bed. I've got a couple, a Cherokee Purple as well as a San Romano, so indeterminate tomatoes over here. Be interesting to see how I can do this with just stakes. And then a few of my dwarfs here. These are more eggplants. I had no idea eggplants were going to get this large, but they're coming on and actually starting to get a flower right. In fact, that's got an eggplant on it. That's exciting to see. Neat, and you can see a ladybug protecting them. Can you see the little hoverfly right there? Huh. So neat. Neat seeing all of the wildlife in the garden. My peas back here are doing great. In fact, I'm gonna eat one right now. Delicious. These never make it inside, y'all. Never make it inside. So, sorry to talk with my mouth full, but these are just sugar snap peas from M.I. Gardener. These right here are not dragon tongue, I'm sorry. I think they're called sugar magnolia. They're supposed to be like a purple marbled looking pea, but I just now got my first flower. So hopefully that one starts putting on before it gets too hot. And then there's more sugar snap back there. I got let's see, this is an Excelsior cucumber. I just put him in the ground just a couple of days ago. Over here, I have some okras that I started from seed. They're a little bit smaller. Not sure why they're leaning over, but we'll see. They're not getting any sunlight right now, so I've got to get some of this pruned up. And then these two right here are Kajari melon or Kahari melon, however you say that. I'm not real sure. But y'all, I've been excited about these peas. I've been eating on them for a few days. Let's see if I can find another one that's really ready. This one is ready right here. So I pick them and I eat them. Love them, so good. Back here, these are Everglades tomatoes. Oh, look, I hadn't even noticed, but they've got little tomatoes on them too. So excited about those. I don't know a whole lot about them other than they're supposed to be very heat tolerant, which is something obviously that we need here in East Texas. Again, sugar snap peas. I just can't help myself. So good. All right, so I hate to eat in front of y'all, but I just can't pass them on. So that's all my raised beds. So we'll go over here real quick and check out the Greenstalks and what I've got going on in here. So mostly strawberries here, and they're doing really well. My sprinkler system just came on, so hopefully that's not too noisy. I do have some flowers and got some kale going. I've been eating on this kale too, doing really well. So check this out. This is a runner. Obviously, here's another one, but I pinned him in just, Monday. So early last week, and he's already putting on new growth. So I'm assuming that he's rooted, and he's got another buddy right here that I will probably try to root in there as well. These are some of those teddy bear flowers. Don't remember what they're called. I did not do a very good job of labeling the flowers. Planted a lot, but I didn't label them. So, and then my strawberries over here as well. I lost quite a few strawberries. I had to replace quite a few of them, but I think I might have been over watering them. You know, sometimes we can love our plants to death, and I think that's what I did with my original strawberries. All right, so one last thing I want to show y'all. Super excited about all of this, all of my figs. Haven't done a fig update in a while, so thought I would give you a quick update of what my figs are doing. So these three I bought at that Harrison County Master Gardener sale. I made these pots. I had to get these up potted. The small little pots they were in, they were just drying out faster than I could keep them watered. So these pots are not finished, they're not painted. I do have to do some more trim work on them, but I'm very happy with how that is turning out. And since I up potted them into their permanent homes, they look so much better. They seem to be loving life right now. These three are some of my original fig sticks that I really had written them off. Millennial Gardener showed one way to try to propagate some that did not propagate when you originally tried. I tried that and they worked. They rooted, and since I put them in the pots, they're not looking so good. So we'll see. I don't know. Wait, that one looks like he might be putting on some new growth. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how it goes. They did have roots on them when I put them in there, so we'll see. And then these figs, this is one that I recently purchased. That's an LSU purple. And then this one, these four right here in the identical pots, these are all fig sticks that I propagated. This one is an I-258. When I up potted it, I thought I had lost them. The rest of them grew and continued to grow. However, that one did not. I was really disappointed. I thought I was going to lose the I-258, and that's one I'm excited about, but he has since taken off. This one is my original. This is the Texas Everbearing. Actually, this guy right here is a cutting off of this Texas Everbearing. I think I've got, let's see, is it this one? Yeah, check them out. I got some little figs. I don't know if y'all can see those, but I got some little figs right there. There's quite a few of them. That one's getting pretty big. So that one's got a lot of figs. Don't know if it'll hold them. I don't know how old that little tree is, but hopefully he'll hold on to those figs for me. I have pretty much gotten everything out of the greenhouse now. I do have some cucumbers right here. These I'm going to share with my neighbor. She was wanting some. And then some zucchinis, which I'll probably share as well. I don't have them. This is something I am kind of excited about. So y'all, this is a sucker that I cut off of a Rapunzel tomato one day while pruning. Put him in some dirt, and he looked rough. I mean, wilted. I didn't think it was going to work. And about, I don't know, 4 or 5 days later, I noticed that he was starting to stand back up. And now 2 weeks in, and he's fully rooted. I mean, if I can pick him up. So that's kind of cool. Took a sucker and rooted it. Pretty neat. But y'all, that is my April garden tour. Probably turned into a little bit longer of a video than I originally intended, but I wanted to show y'all what everything was looking like here at the end of April. Again, not sure how it's the end of April, but it is. So I will see y'all around next time. Thanks for watching.